is that lawsuit, the $200,000 that Mr. Duffy has spent so far, is that in the manager's report?
You know what, we're not going to discuss that at all. This is a personal matter, and this is an inappropriate question.
Yes, taxpayer money, though. And so
it's not taxpayer money either.
It actually is.
No,
it is. It's not insured. Are you making a representation to the public that is fully insured money?
I'm not actually.
Exactly.
I'm not going to discuss it, but it's not with taxpayer money.
I'm very surprised to hear your comment tonight that you're all about, public. For you on July 8th, I had brought to your attention that legal fees in the case involving Joe Swanson incurred by Mr. Duffy have been about $200,000. And Mr. Khan told me that I was wrong and it was not taxpayer money, and that was a lie. And I went and I did a public records request. These are your documents. These are not my documents, Mr. Khan. These are your documents.
Said it wasn't too.
Excuse me, please don't interrupt me. Your documents, and I can play the recording after. I have it queued up on my phone if you're denying.
We're here for citizen comment, not for citizen showing up. No,
5 minutes.
your comment.
I get 5 minutes.
No, excuse me.
Okay, fine. On 7/8/25 at 1:31 and 52 seconds, I brought up the litigation expenses, and Mr. Khan said, not taxpayer money. That's a lie. I have the checks written by the town. I have the checks right here. This is taxpayer money. Some of the money that was paid by VLCT, the premiums are funded by taxpayer money. Do not lie to the public, Mr. Khan. Please stop hiding Mr. Duffy and his actions. Please be transparent. Let us know what is going on. And for those who intend to come up here and make personal.
Thanks for keeping me honest.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so next on the agenda is the FY25 legal fees, and I'm going to read a statement. We have been asked to explain the expenditure of municipal funds on a personnel issue. During the period in question, the 2024 fiscal year, the amount of $102,236.26 was spent in legal fees on a single personnel issue that is presently in court. Of that, $75,072.89 was paid from municipal funds rather than solely from village funds. During the time of these payments, there was at least one meeting in which members of the municipal select board discussed with the municipal manager paying some of the legal fees for the personnel issue. The reasoning behind this was that the municipality as a whole was noticed and eventually became a party to this lawsuit. The municipality had and continues to have a vested interest in ensuring that the best possible legal services were provided to limit and diminish liability to the village and the municipality as a whole. Further, while people characterize this as a village versus town expense, it should be noted that we are overlapping municipalities and that people owning property in the village pay two taxes, one to the village and one to the municipality. In fact, village properties make up 1/3 of the total tax receipts of the municipality. The municipal tax pays to maintain the roads in the village, provides EMS and fire protection, and all the benefits those in the town enjoy. Given all this, it did not seem unreasonable for the municipality to pay legal expenses that protected the municipality, which contains the village. On reflection, given the extraordinary circumstances surrounding this expense, the decision should have been voted upon in an open meeting, since it was not part of the budget approved at town meeting. I can assure you this was not because anyone wanted to hide this from voters. This happened during the time that we were buying a water company, arranging for bonds in the amount of $8.3 million to purchase and improve upon the water system and the land that it owned. We were in the midst of working with engineers to design improvements to the wastewater treatment plant, costing in excess of $30 million. I reviewed my calendar, and it shows that for the first 6 months of 2025, I attended approximately 35 meetings for the municipality. 18 of these were official noticed select board meetings, and the remaining included meetings with the public regarding the water company, Clay referenced, meetings with the Chamber of Commerce, wastewater engineers, and agenda meetings. I don't want to minimize this oversight, as every dime of taxpayer money is important. However, the expenditure of about 1% of the total budget during this busy time just didn't make the meeting calendar, for which I apologize. Since I've become chair, the board has started a few new initiatives to make us more responsive. We are trying to go into executive session less. Earlier this year, we had a training session with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns, which we were told could be done privately, yet we chose to do it in a public meeting. We openly discussed a contract with the Vermont Housing Conservation Board regarding the conservation of Vondel, which statutorily could have been an executive session, but was not. This week, we released an opinion letter from our attorney waiving attorney-client privilege to do so. The Select Board has hired a separate law firm. We will run FOIA requests, open meeting law allegations, and other matters directed to the board to this firm so that expenses to the municipality will be clearer. The personnel matter that is ongoing will by necessity stay with the original firm, but those expenses are presently covered by insurance. The planning and zoning matter for which the municipality was expending legal fees has resolved. Another improvement, I think, is that in every monthly meeting, the financials are included in the packet and on the website, and the municipal manager reviews them, and we entertain questions from the public about the financials. Lastly, we are starting a process by which the board, or at least the chair, will review journal entries so that we track all payments made by the municipality, whether by check or journal adjustment. We are a citizen board. As I've stated before, we do not claim to be perfect, but we are trying to represent the municipality as best we can. I ask that you continue to attend meetings, that you work with us in a respectful, courteous manner, particularly as we welcome new members to the board. We'll take brief comments and questions at this time. Given pending litigation, we cannot answer questions tonight, but we'll make note of them and we'll try to address those which we can answer by email or in future meetings. First of all, I'll ask my fellow board members if they have any questions or statements.
None at this time.
And as I announced at the beginning of the meeting, we are limiting public comment to 3 minutes. Mr. Selden.
Yes, thank you. I just want to address a couple of statements that were made. I would actually respectfully submit that this issue is the reason why Laura Powell actually tendered her resignation, because what the previous board did, and didn't include Mr. Johnson, and didn't include Mr. Freitas, was they acted illegally. And this has been a major issue the taxpayers have been asking you about for months and months and months, and you've stonewalled us, Ms. Ford. You stonewalled us. You did not answer questions because this was something you were actually trying to intentionally cover up. And you've been doing this for a long time. And when Mr. Codd was asked about this in July of 2025 at a recorded public meeting where you were in attendance, and he said not $1 of taxpayer money had been spent. Right there, Mr. Codd said not $1 of taxpayer money, not even just town money. He said that. And Ms. Blakeman agreed with him. And by the way, Ms. Blakeman is actually Mr. Reed's wife. I don't think you mentioned that. She's the one that actually got us into this whole issue to begin with. But more importantly is he lied to the public. I produced financial documents that I had requested with a public records request, and I disproved what he was saying. And you did not pipe up at that time to say that I was right. You let the public believe that what Mr. Codd was lying about was the truth, and it wasn't the truth. And when Ms. Taylor did a public records request to begin her forensic investigation into all of this, Mr. Duffy tried to block it by charging her a whole bunch of money, preventing her from accessing public records to discover what has happened here. And I cannot believe that you would say that you secretly authorized the use of town money on this purpose to get competent counsel. Competent counsel. You have the most incompetent lawyer in the world. That's why he was reversed. He's given you terrible advice. He's given the village terrible advice. And to be honest with you, his Matt Bloomer, who is his, I guess, younger associate, actually told our lawyer that Eric wasn't following legal advice. So, I don't know what you guys have for counsel, but it's not competent.
And I'll let Laura Powell's resignation letter speak for itself. I think
it's a
she was
lie.
fairly clear.
It's a lie.
Online, Allison Taylor.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Am I mistaken, or did I hear you say that at least one meeting this was discussed among the select board? Did I hear that correctly?
That's what my statement said.
What was the date of that meeting?
We would have to get back to you.
Yeah, doesn't matter, of course.
I would like to respectfully request that the video recording of that meeting be put back online for those of us in public who are interested in reviewing that. Can you still hear me?
Again, I'm making a note.
Okay. Also, I'm interested in knowing who specifically authorized the expenditure of the town funds for the village legal fees. Was a vote taken?
Municipal funds.
She asked who authorized it.
And I think I made clear we weren't answering questions at this time. So we're making notes. Thank you.
Maybe the one that
Oh,
resigned.
okay. I have a few more questions. I have put in a public records request to find out exactly what the journal entry notations show. I asked for photographs of it. I was told that the municipality does not currently have that record. Within the spirit of that request, I have asked for either a printout or a photocopy or something that shows the public exactly what those journal entries do say, to explain those two transfers from the town back to the village on the dates of May 21st as well as June 30th. I would just respectfully ask that that information be provided to us rather than having to play a game of semantics with the municipal manager who said that I'm welcome to submit another public records request. I think it's really clear what it is that the public wants to know here. And it would be really nice if we could just get a straightforward answer rather than having to play, just throwing darts at a dartboard to try to get the right verbiage in order to get those questions answered. And then lastly, I would just like to ask for some explanation as to why $45,000 were transferred on the very last day of the fiscal year, why that was necessary, when those legal fees and those services were long in the past. The explanation that you've provided doesn't explain that level of expenditure on the last day of a fiscal year. And so I think a lot of us want to know a very upfront and honest answer to that question because it looks really suspicious. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That hearing was an employment hearing asked by an employee who was trying to fight his firing. So I just think maybe we could clarify those funds were from a hearing that was called by the village or held by the village as an employment dispute. So that's where those funds were transferred from. It wasn't anything to do, if we were part of a civil suit, from my understanding, we're still not, I don't know, but that's a separate issue. These funds were to help the village pay for their employment hearing. We as a town just contract with the village for the police services. So as would we be responsible for anyone else that we contract with if they were to have a dispute with the village? I guess I didn't say that right.
No, you did.
So what's happening is we're as town, our funds want to pay for an employment hearing that we as town members have no control over. The village called for the termination of the police chief. The municipal manager led that charge, brought it to them, and now we're going through that round a second time. So I'd also like to make sure that we don't pay for that second hearing as well. But maybe that's a more clarification for the auditor and the select board and the trustees.
Can you hold on 1 second? Because I think I have part of an answer for you, and I just need to do this. The municipal manager did not make a decision on his own. The board chairs are the ones that made the decision. And so the municipal manager just didn't move money without having some discussions. And I just want you to know that because it seems that municipal manager doesn't move funds or do things without the directions of both boards.
I don't think that's been.
Yeah, and.
Well, I mean, I'm saying.
Neither of them are here.
It was-
It's
Right,
not me,
none of them are here, but I
but I don't
can
think that's been
say
established. So
that-
So I would bring up the fact that why would the village chair and vice chair be involved in spending town funds?
I think rather than take this time, we should ask the auditor if this is within the scope of his audit.
Sure, but now that
We're taking.
Chair Lawler has brought up that in public, in a meeting, that said that a chair and a vice chair and a chair and a vice chair.
I said
Number
two
one.
chairs.
Two chairs
Are
equals
no
a
longer.
legal, makes a legal vote. That doesn't work.
I don't know that that's accurate. I don't think that's been established as a fact. I don't.
Yeah, we.
But even if it's established as a fact, it's
No.
not right.
What I said,
But
what I said was, and
That's not the
so can you just tell us whether what's going on is within the scope of an audit or, just for everyone